boys, with the big haul of quarterbacks coming in within the last week or two, and I have not updated this since, what, 2.5 weeks ago, I felt like this was a must-do video today. The top 10 quarterbacks, we needed to get this one out. We've had honors cards, we've had the MVP from the Super Bowl, and then obviously we've had some legends. We've had some AKA cards in between. But if you guys enjoy videos like this, I do top 10s for all the positions. I also do gameplays in all these cards, so make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and yeah, let's just get right into number 10. If you are looking for cheap, fast Madden coins to build that God Squad you always wanted, head over to my sponsor, EasyMut, and use code CHEW for 5% off your order. The link is in the description. Moving over to number 10, we got Josh Allen. We do got a little bit of cards towards the bottom that feel a little bit like outliers on this list. I mean, Josh Allen isn't a terrible card. I just think the top-end guys right now are just unbelievable, like absolutely unbelievable. And there's some guys that are under 400k as well in the top 5, so a guy like Josh Allen's a little bit hard to like put on there, but he's still a good card. He's 90 speed, which is solid out here in the game. He has great stats across the board, but as many of you guys know, I think it's February, everybody knows by now, the only thing that really matters on quarterbacks are release, abilities, and I guess a little bit of speed. As long as your stats are above 90, you're cool, right? Josh Allen, though, doesn't have the best release in the world, but he does have a pretty solid stack. If you come all the way over here, you can get Harrow Master, Set Feet Lead, and also Gunslinger. But if you remember with Josh Allen, you can't get gift wrapped on him, which was one that I know a lot of people do not like. But to afford the stack, you need to have all of that on there, which it's not bad. I mean, Josh Allen was not a bad card. He probably was one of the better guys when the first stack initially came out. And there's still a lot of cards that come out, like, for example, Lamar Jackson, who can't even get the stack. So a guy like Josh Allen is still very valuable in the game and still a solid top 10 quarterback. Number 9, I know we are losing a little bit of speed here with Kurt Warner, but I do like the ability of having Omaha on. I know it's not the craziest, and it's definitely not OP with him. You are getting a, like, kind of mid-tier release. It's called Generic 2. It's the one they give to literally everybody in the game. I would say I personally like it a little bit more than Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a really bad hitch on his medium right and his shorts, but Josh Allen does have one of the best speed releases in the game. I would say Generic 2 is kind of mid everywhere, but it's not really terrible anywhere, if that makes sense. But if we look at our guy with Omaha, it starts on for 2 plays, and I think it takes, I think it was 6 plays, and it comes back on. You don't get it on very often, but I do think it's really nice to have, especially for 0 AP. But you could also run some very glitchy stuff like backyard quarterback, so you can get your Harrow Master, and you could also get Set Feet Lead right here. So you can get the stack, or you can run some crazy Omaha if you don't really need Harrow Master, and you can see he can basically get any side of stack you want in the game. I like Kurt Warner. The only thing that really did, like I said, sucked about him is that, yes, he is a little bit slow, and he has kind of a mid-tier release, but I like the stacks you can do on him. He also gets Super Bowl theme team, and he gets his other chem too, so not a bad card right here. Just like I said, you're going to see when we get to the top tier quarterbacks, they feel miles ahead of these guys down here. At number 8, we got Big Brock Purdy. And Brock Purdy is one that I honestly have not used yet. He's the only one. Actually, I can't even say that. We did use him, but he's the one I have not used to an extent to where I feel comfortable, like, severely ranking him any higher than he is right now. Obviously, when you're this late in the year, you know how releases work. You know what release does what. And yes, he has the exact same release as Kurt Warner, but he is much faster. You can see, I mean, up to 90 speed, same speed as Josh Allen right there. Good stats across the board. The one thing is, though, is that he does get the stack, like I said, Harrow Master, you can get your Set Feet Lead, your Gunslinger, whatever you want to run right here. And then also you can use the Light Up token, too, to get this Gunslinger for free, which is really nice, or Fearless, and another glitchy ability, which is Omniscient. It's hard to kind of rank the Lighted Up token because the present one is really hard to get. You only get one of those, and the past ones, you can get up to 3 if you bought the bundles. So, like, it's kind of hard to value that so much on a quarterback, but if you are probably using it, you are on probably him or Karlaftis, right? But I don't know if I could rank Purdy much higher because there are, like I said, there are guys with better releases that either get better abilities or same ability stacks while maintaining the better throwing motion. I just can't put him any higher than this. Number 7, we have Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry is one that I think is like, I didn't know if I should include him on this list, but he was a card that was free, and I know a lot of people have chosen him because I've asked the Twitch chat, and I know Donald Parham was probably the better choice, but Derrick Henry is still not a bad card. As you guys remember, he got an LTD quarterback card during the Zero Chill promo, and it was absolutely garbage. It was one of the worst cards in the game. They gave him the worst release in the game, but Wesley, the guy who created this, the MCS player, he did end up giving him traditional 4, which is, as you guys know, is the Lamar Jackson release. But there are some negatives with the card. Despite having 90, I mean, there's not really negatives with the stats, right? He has amazing stats. He has 95 speed. He also has 84 carrying too, which is pretty solid for a quarterback. But the one thing is, despite having, or him not winning, I guess you could say, Wesley not winning the championship, he wasn't able to get the 0 AP X Factor, which does end up hurting, but you could still get Set Feet Lead, no Harrow Master. That's kind of the negative why he's not higher, despite being one of the fastest quarterbacks in the game. Good throwing animation, or the best throwing animation. he doesn't get Howard Master, man. You have to run the Seffi lead. You also get your Gunslinger gift wrapped, which you can afford all that and an apprentice or two, especially with the 0 AP apprentices. But I think Derrick Henry and his versatility has to be somewhere on this list. I just didn't know where, if I could put him any higher, not getting Howard Master, because I do think that is a big deal. But like I said, I think it's a little bit easier now because we are getting 0 AP tight end apprentices. There are a lot of 0 AP running back apprentices, slot apprentices. So it's a lot more doable now, if that makes sense. Number 6, we probably have the most disappointing card of Madden 24 so far. Probably next to Derrick Henry quarterback card for Zero Chill, right? This card, I mean, we probably, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, 24 hours ago, when I was thinking about doing this video, because I knew a lot of quarterbacks that came out and I wanted to update it, I probably would have told you that Lamar's probably quarterback 1. Like, there's no question he's quarterback 1. They completely destroyed this card. And you're probably looking at the speed, you're like, dude, he's insane. What do you mean speed? Whatever. Speed's cool and all, but if you aren't getting abilities, it kind of tanks the card. So if you come over here, boys, you're expecting to be able to get the stack, right? Every quarterback gets a stack, and especially when we're at 97 overalls and he's the MVP card, you come over here, boys, they gave him running back abilities. They gave him jukebox, fast break, and dashing data. You're like, okay, that's fine, right? Whatever. It's one box. They copy and pasted it in his only other discounted box. Yes, they gave him 2 running back basically slots. Dashing Deadeye, as you guys know, it's not terrible, but roaming Deadeye is definitely the better ability anyways, and he doesn't get that discounted. I mean, this is just, I mean, there's no defending. This is, I mean, I will say this probably does help a couple play styles out there, but it's definitely like a, now I don't want to say gimmick because that feels rude, but it's like, it's not a popular playstyle. So this card for Lamar, it might be top tier for some guys, but for some people, he's not even playable with the stack. But you can't even stack Seffi lead or Howard Master. This is the only slot that gets either, and you can run Seffi for 5 right here, which I think is a must-have ability right now, especially with KO snapping on every ball thrown. So you need that, and then the Gunslinger, you're basically paying full price for everything and no special X factor. It feels even wrong ranking him this high, but I don't know. I just feel so bad because I really thought this was going to be the best card in the game. And also, if you take a look right here, compared to his 94, somebody told me this yesterday. I think his 94 had, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was above 90 carrying. They gave his quarterback 97 overall, MVP LTD, 76 carrying. Yeah. And they gave him running back abilities. So, yeah, they made him a worse carrier while giving him running back abilities. Yeah, EA, I don't even know what they did with this one. I have no clue. And at number 5, we got our guy, Big William Perry. And I feel like this one was an easy one. I still think when you look at him, he is still a very fast quarterback in the game. And it's crazy. He's still better than the card that just got 3 overalls above him. But as you guys know, with William Perry, built-in Gunslinger. So with the stack, with the Seffi Elite stack, you won't be able to get Howard Master, which does suck. But you can get your Seffi Elite, your Gunslinger, and Gift Wrap for a total of 6 AP. So you still have 2 AP left over. You can run the X Factor on like Marshawn Lynch. You can run a bunch of apprentices. And also what I love compared to what honestly Lamar should have had built on is the Truz, where it is literally starting on for, it feels like almost the entire game. 10 plays on, and then I think it's 5 plays off, and then another 10 plays on. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it feels like it's on the entire game. William Perry, still a dog, still a top 5 quarterback in the game. It feels like he has been out forever, man. He came out, what, on Christmas Day? Still a top 5 quarterback. That is nasty, man. At number 4, we have probably the first God stack, or not probably, the first God stack quarterback we got this year, Mr. CJ Stroud. He was number 2 on our last list, and he was the card that was used in the MCS. I know it was a little bit unfair of me because I did the video before, well, right when Steve McNair came out. Steve McNair, I did put above him. And then also some people were commenting the MCS guys were using Stroud over McNair. But as you guys know, they weren't allowed to use McNair. For any of you guys that know, they weren't allowed to. So that's why everybody was using Stroud. But when we look at Stroud, he's still a good card, though. 93 speed. He has the 2nd best release in the game. And also for all 8 of your AP, you can go ahead and use the Howard Master, Seffi Lead, Gunslinger, and Gift Wrap stack. It does suck that there is no AP left over, especially now with, you know, guys like Marshawn Lynch and also like running back abilities and like offensive line abilities to counter the defensive line X factors. It does suck that there's no, like, you know, wiggle room there, but CJ Stroud is still a dog. That's all you really need on your offense at the end of the day is that stack. I will say he is getting an honors card. I don't know how much better it's going to be. It's going to be a 97 overall. So I would guess it's probably going to be this card, but just minus 1 AP or minus 2. He might get it for 6 or 8, 7 AP. Or they could cheat him like Lamar. But yeah, he'll probably move up like a tier or 2, especially if he gets that big upgrade. And at number 3, we cracked the top 3 with our guy, Steve McNair, Air McNair. This is a card where I personally am a big fan of release. I think release is a big deal. The A-gap blitz is one of the most annoying blitzes in the game to play play against, and you can sometimes block it, but sometimes it'll still get that nasty disengage, and you barely have any time. And even with CJ Stroud's release, which is the second best release in the game, I would sometimes struggle to get away. And when I went back to William Perry or Air McNair at the time, I felt 10 times better out there despite having a little bit less of a stack. But the thing with Air McNair is, although he doesn't get all 8 AP on your stack, you can run this backyard quarterback and then get your Seffi lead, get your gunslinger gift wrapped, and that's 7 AP. So you won't have backyard or Howard Master on all game, but you'll have it on for, I think it's like 55% of the game, which is still pretty nice, while also getting an extra AP, so you can run that Marshawn Lynch, which is probably the best card in the game right now, while also being able to run like 0 AP slot apprentice if you need that on all game or whatnot. McNair is still a good card. I will take the better release every single day, especially with how good the wide receiver abilities are coming out now with 0 APs everywhere. Even 0 AP tight end apprentices and running back apprentices, like I mentioned earlier. All right, boys, and for number 1/2, I guess you could say the 1A, 1B in this game, I didn't know what to truly do right here because I think both of them are amazing in their single, category, right? I personally went back to Doug Williams. I might try Patrick Mahomes again on stream today right after I post this video, but when you look at Doug Williams, you are still getting an amazing card. He still gets the stack for 6 AP. Remember, Stroud, I just told you out, gets that for 8 AP. 6 AP with Doug Williams, and I do think he has value too. The light up token for the past, you get 3 of them if you bought the bundles or whatever. You still get 3 of them. And with the present one, which Mahomes gets, you only get 1 of them. And Karlaftis is the guy that kind of pulls that. But looking past that, Doug Williams does have a little bit better of a release as well, or not a little bit better. He has a way better release. So you are paying 2 extra AP on your stack to get a better release. So the real question is if you want Pat Mahomes, you are spending 4 AP on his entire stack, which is insane. I mean, that is about as good as it gets. But the question is, in Madden 24, do you really need all that AP? I personally feel like the offensive line abilities is the only thing I would slap it on to counter the X factors. But at the end of the day, if you don't feel like you need AP, I would go with Doug. But if you want to use running back abilities, if you want to be able to, run the ball better, or even have like, crazy wide receiver man beating abilities, Pat Mahomes is the guy for you. I still think they're both very good. And I know it's crazy comparing a 95 to 99, but remember, those overalls in the top right do not matter at all. They're both amazing cards. They both get good things in their own way. Do you want release or do you want AP? That's kind of how I'm going to leave it here at 1A, 1B. Boys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment down below which quarterback are you rocking right now. Like I said, I'm using Doug, but I'm currently going to actually, right after I post this video, boot up stream, and we're going to try Pat Mahomes out for an entire day, see how we can ball with him. I love Pat Mahomes, and we're going to rock with him, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. Hope to see you guys in the gameplays tomorrow. We're getting a secret promo, whatever that means. We'll be there with videos, man. I'll see y'all there. Peace out, boys.